are proud to announce and introduce to you the next generation of professional rodeo. This is the World Rodeo League. 18 teams in the WRL, which has never happened in the history of our sport. Ride, cowboy, ride! On April 5th, the famous 440 Ranch played host to the premiere of Team Rodeo, presented by the World Rodeo League, where the Dallas Desperados took on the Fort Worth Warriors. 30 cowboys and 10 cowgirls make up each of the two teams that compete in 4 events for a once-in-a-lifetime chance to play for one of the WRL teams. The game opens in what is probably the most physically demanding event in rodeo. Dallas fails to score with its first opportunity as 18-year-old Wyatt Maines gets bucked off. But it's the Warriors who draw first blood with a 73-point ride by Cole Delgado. In what was to be a tight contest for the entire day, Dallas fires right back with a pair of 79-point rides by AFR Rookie of the Year Austin Graham and Stockyards champ Colton Wiley. But the Warriors, refusing to be denied, come back with rides by 20-year-old Brady Cooper and teammate Jake Snyder, giving Fort Worth the lead going into the first round of the bull riding of 306 to 158. The Bulls made it a nearly impossible task to score by bearing all but 2 riders to the ground by the end of the day. Even the bullfighters had their hands full as the first 5 riders were grounded by some of the top bucking bulls in rodeo today. Keeping fans for both teams on the edge of their seats, it's not until Fort Worth's Gatlin Abisher scored a 78-point ride aboard the Calico Kid, extending the Warriors' lead to 384 to Dallas's 158. Not to be outdone by the rough stock riders, the girls of rodeo slugged it out all day after Fort Worth's Karen Hardebeck set the time to beat at a modest 17.299. The Desperados raised the bar when Ginger Billingsley turned in a time of 16.664 seconds. But teammate Martha Wright fell short after knocking her second barrel down for a 5-second penalty. The Warriors picked up momentum when 5-time NFR qualifier Fallon Taylor came in at 16.567. The rain from the day before made the arena extremely soft, so after the crews re-raked it, riding for Dallas, it was Leanne Rust that brought in the best time of the day with her ride of 16.392. With one event to go before halftime, the Saddle Bronc riders didn't disappoint fans since nearly all the rides they made were qualified. It was Casey Maddox on board Sugar Daddy who scored a 78 for Dallas, and his teammate, the oldest PRCA Bronc rider in competition today, Brian Hammonds, with a 70 to bring Dallas within 1 ride for the lead. But the Fort Worth Warriors wasted no time in striking back when Mike Uthier and teammate Cole Thorson turned in the second highest scores of the day with 82 each to widen the Warriors' lead over the Desperados. Then it was Clint Linfield's turn, riding Slick Willie for the top Saddle Bronc ride of the day of 83 points to finish the first half, with Dallas still trailing Fort Worth 384 to 549. As the teams get ready for the second half, the quality of the stock continued to impress the fans when 8-time National Finals bucking horse Real Deal sent Tyler Pashur sailing off the dashboard for a no score. But Dallas was about to get their second wind. It was Indiana Cowboy Eric Kramer who rode disco for a 73 and teammate Matt Bright who scored an 83 to bring Dallas within striking distance of the lead. Even with Justin Pollmiller riding Hometown Girl to make the top bareback score of the day of 84 points, Dallas was undeterred in their pursuit of a comeback. It was Chris Yates who rode his first bronc at the tender age of 5 atop Lori Darlin, who scored another 79 Dallas points. A.J. Yokin, who fails to score on lily pad for the Warriors, is followed up by the Cowboy from Missouri, David Clapp, who rides Rocky for another 70 Dallas points. Texas high school champ Blake Wilson scores a 74 riding Black Smoke. And teammate Ethan Osmond scored 76 points for Dallas on the last bareback ride of the day, bringing the Desperados within 20 points of the lead. Dallas 765, Fort Worth 785. In the last set of barrel racers, Fort Worth tries to hang on to their lead as 2 Texas cowgirls, Kelly Skelton and Heather Howard, turn in the best times of the day for the Warriors. Dallas's Shannon Black and Gina Franklin both come in just under 16.7 seconds. And with that, it's Dallas that captures the 200-point bonus for the lowest time in the barrel racing and takes the lead for the first time in the game, 965 to 785. With only 2 events to go, Fort Worth tries to regain their stride, but Cowboys Justin Harold, Miles Houston, and Corey Wagner all get bucked off. Meanwhile, the Desperados widen the point gap when 23-year-old Ty Houston scores another 80 points with his ride on Wrecking Ball. Wyoming Cowboy Caleb Acey, the next warrior up, fires back with an 82-point trip. In what promised to be a fight to the finish, Matt McCloy rides the darkness for another 80 Dallas points. Even though Kirk Nelson rides Heart Attack for 76 Fort Worth points, Dallas goes into the last event with the lead, 1135 to 943. The Desperados' best chance to score is with Ethan McGuire, who gets bucked off a bull called T-Bar 5-0. Only 5 Warrior riders remain with the opportunity to put their team back on top. And after Austin Bailey's bull, Mayday, crashes through the fence just after the Oklahoma Cowboy was knocked off, none of the remaining Warriors would score. Chance Whitehead, C.B. Perkins, and Lane Toon are all driven to the ground, while teammate Dane Forrest was red flagged for a freehand violation. After a long but valiant effort on both sides, Dallas keeps its 192-point lead to win the first game of the World Rodeo League season. Final score, 1135 to 943.